Hello guys, welcome to this course. I'm glad that you took up this video to listen. Uh, this is my trial to explain my knowledge on machine learning. Dr. Ganesh. So I have introduced myself in my previous videos. So I'm a artist, enthusiast, computer enthusiast, speaker, traveler, photographer with several years of industrial and academic experience. Uh, this is the second video of this series. And agenda for today will be to explain machine learning samples from daily life and to give you a very high level example 101 before we go into the technical details of machine learning. So just a quick recap. What is machine learning? Machine learning is a field of study that gives computers ability to learn without being explicitly programmed. So in very simple words, we can say machine learning means making prediction based on data. And we mentioned in our previous video about a typical flow of machine learning. There's a set of data that is called training set, and it may follow supervised way of learning or unsupervised way of learning. We can easily assume a student, a kid learning from school is supervised learning. A kid learning by himself to do certain things is unsupervised learning. So in either way, we are going to extract, understand certain features, use some algorithm for some output. The output could be grouping, predicting, or whatever. Let's see some samples from our daily life. Facebook, they heavily use artificial intelligence. So if any of you have, if you have a Facebook account, you will easily understand there are different ways they use. For example, they give you friends recommendation. They give the right news feed based on what you are watching and looking. They give targeted advertising. If you have browsed for a particular item in an e-commerce website, same item you will see as an advertisement within your Facebook page. And from there to offensive video detection, to crime detection, facial recognition, and so many examples. What about Google? Machine learning is everywhere at Google. You have seen Google Translate, which helps you translate a particular language to another language. In this example, you see the Russian is getting translated to English on a click of a photograph. Or Google Voice Search, Google Photos. If you have noticed, Google Photos will try to tag you, group by your name, group by the locations, features. For example, if I have my Google Photos in my mobile where I search for beach, all photos taken, videos and photos taken near a beach will be grouped and showed to me. It's as intelligent as that. Or the smart reply you might have seen in your Gmail. Google Maps shows about parking traffic at a place. So the parking comes from essentially a learning algorithm, right? So now if you see the enterprise A companies list, it is endless. You will be able to spot a lot of companies here uh, on various types of companies. So this essentially shows how much artificial intelligence and machine learning has penetrated into our lives. So once again, the definition of machine learning. It is a science of getting computers to act without being explicitly programmed. This is the definition given by Stanford University. It's a subset of AI which uses statistical methods to enable machines to improve experience. So you have plenty of data, use statistics to understand the data, to extrapolate and see if you can predict when you get an unknown data. Let's take example 101. If you are not able to identify the location in this image, just a side talk by the way. This is from Denmark when I visited Copenhagen a few years back. I found it quite interesting because there is a ferry right there, there's a rail, there's a road, Probably air is also there. So all common modes of transportation in a single picture. I found the location very interesting. Okay, back to our example 101. Suppose we want to create a system that tells us the expected weight of person based on its height. So we are collecting data. Each point on graph represents a data point. So see here a bunch of data where given the height and weight mapping is given. Now from this data we should be able to make a model that can predict the weight given a height. What is a simple way? Try to draw a line, a straight line where weight is equal to height minus 100 in this example, a constant 100. So which roughly says if your height is 169 centimeter, your weight is 69 kilograms. So this straight line essentially fits only two of the data points, all other points are away. So how do I know if my straight line really works well or how much it predicts proper? So to achieve this, we will look at the distance between the original value and the expected value with this line, which is nothing but the error. So we understood that there is some error, some amount of error. We can calculate the error in different ways, and our aim is to minimize this error as much as possible. Maybe if you have more data points, that is one way, or we tilt the line by a bit. Maybe instead of weight equal to height minus 100, maybe weight equal to height minus 120 or 80, and see which of them gives a better error, minimal error. Sometimes instead of a straight line, it may be a logarithmic line, a logarithmic curve, which might be giving a better answer. So find a curve that gives you sufficient accuracy. You may not want that exact accuracy because that may lead to some other issues which we will discuss later. So once you fix a line, the height, if you supply, I can go put that height, see where that height touches this line, map that to the weight. So that's it. But before that, let me introduce you to a very beautiful website which I have happened to see. The URL is here, r2d3.us/visual intro to machine learning part 1. See what this shows. So see here, as you scroll down, it shows how the data looks like, the visualization looks like. In this example, I want to determine whether a home is in San Francisco or New York, and along with that, the homes at below certain square meters are at one particular place and certain square meter is at some other place. Based on that, I started drawing a boundary here, and once I draw that boundary, I have some rough estimates on what type of data happen to have it in what type of a place, and then I put them into a scatter plot matrix to show relationship between different dimensions. Now let me take a machine learning algorithm called decision tree, which is nothing but a series of decisions being taken to determine an answer. So it's all about ifs and elses. So let's see where we should decide on what feature to take. Is it the square feet that we should take, or is it some other feature that best split the data into two? Let's start plotting the tree with multiple decision factors, the elevation, the year it is built, price per square feet, and then start making predictions to see how they are coming, and then check with the actual answer how the actual answer is to understand the accuracy of our algorithm. So I found this URL very useful. I recommend that you go check out this URL and get a feel of machine learning. They have more such visual representations. In the coming videos, I will start taking one by one type of algorithms and try to explain what that mean to you. Uh, so there are so many examples here, things like unsupervised learning, supervised learning. For example, assume you have two, say, some groundnuts and cashew nuts and almonds with you. You have all of them mixed, and you give it to your 3 year or 4 year old kid, and simply tell him or her, can you separate them into different buckets? Give them three buckets, three vessels, and ask them to segregate. Without now telling anything else, the kid will be able to easily understand from the shape, the texture, the color, these three different items, and more or less they are going to accurately cluster them into three different clusters. That is nothing but clustering here, and that is one type of unsupervised learning. So a technical example is a recommended system, which in Amazon it may say that since you bought so and so item, you may like this, or people who bought this has also bought this. All these are unsupervised learning. It just learned from the environment. Now, what about supervised learning? A teacher is teaching. This is blue color. This is blue color. This is blue color. Given a blue color. After a few such teaching, if the student is given a new item which is of blue color, the student will be able to say this is blue or this is not blue. That is a classification, and which comes under supervised learning. The example that we have just exercised on, given a height, determine the weight, is an example of something called as regression, which is nothing but a value that can come on a continuous plane. Any number, it is not a particular one of the 100 values or 20 values, right? It can be any value to the level of a milligram accuracy. Now, what about reinforcement learning? That is a third category of machine learning, where you want to learn from the experience. So if you simply put a person into a maze and ask him to come out of that, he or she will start exploring based on some of the previous knowledge. They will make some steps. Sometime they will explore some new steps, and finally they will come out of that situation. So such learning which learn with exploration and exploitation comes under this third category, reinforcement learning. So what did we learn today? We learned, we have seen some daily life examples such as Google and Facebook. We have also seen an example 101 there, very basic example of how machine learning looks like. Given a height, how to predict weight. With that, let me thank you. Feel free to subscribe to my channel, like, comment, give feedback on the sessions. Thank you very much.